Hi, my name is Shannon Gunn, and I have with me today Mr. Ed Weiner, the co-founder of Jazz4Justice. I wanted to ask Ed a few questions. Ed, can you tell me about the importance of the justice gap?
Shannon, the justice gap in America is really an unknown problem that affects such a large portion of our population. Here in the United States, we have, without a doubt, the best justice system in the world, but it is complicated, and people need a lawyer to meaningfully access and use our justice system. It was very hurtful for me to have to listen to a very experienced judge tell me that the hardest part of their job was having to rule against someone who in their heart they knew deserved the relief they were seeking from the court, but because they had not followed the proper procedures on a technicality, their case had to fail. That's very hurtful for me to see as a lawyer, and it's just not right. But that is what's at the essence of the legal gap, is access, meaningful access to our justice system.
Ed, can you tell me about what is the rule of law and how does that play into the justice gap?
Absolutely. We're hearing a lot about that these days. The rule of law really says simply that everybody, no matter your race, denomination, beliefs, wealth, resources, everybody is the same in the eyes of the law. That famous statue of the Lady of Justice, she's blindfolded because everybody should be treated the same. That's really at the essence of the rule of law.
And can you tell me, how does Jazz4Justice uphold the rule of law and help close the justice gap?
Jazz4Justice, through its funding, helps provide resources for legal aid associations throughout the state of Virginia. And I want to make it clear, legal aid is for good, honest people who need to use the courts to protect themselves. We are not talking about public defender's office, where people who are charged with criminal offenses need a defense lawyer. These are generally civil cases, people who need to access the courts to exercise their rights. That's how funding for Jazz4Justice serves to help legal aid associations who then go on to perform pro bono work for masses of people throughout the state.
And then what about music education? Where does that fit in?
So that's at the soul of Jazz4Justice. It is a partnership with music programs, and to make this a win-win for everybody involved, Jazz4Justice proceeds are shared with the music education programs that helps us put on these concerts. It's a beautiful relationship, and it's been working well throughout the state.
Thank you, Ed Weiner, for all of your time, for your volunteering to help with Jazz4Justice, and thank you again for helping us understand better how Jazz4Justice helps the justice gap and supports music education.
Let's do it for a lot more years, Shannon.